Welcome to the Horrorcraft Podcast.
Hello, horror fans. It's me, Cass,
Kylie.
and today we're back with another Horrorcraft Reviews. I think this is the 7th entry of our series.
I
Do
don't
we?
know.
I don't know at this point. Listen, I'm here. I'm not here for math. Me and math.
I don't like math. You're gonna make me cry. Stop it.
But
I'm a call Dolly.
the movie that we are talking about today is Dolly, and Dolly is fucked. Dolly is about a couple that is going to
A
a
precious
precious
couple.
couple.
Precious.
Sean William Scott is
Stifler.
Stifler is in this, and he's so great. You just like he's a breath of fresh
Love him.
air, and
Love
then
him.
everything goes to hell. So it's basically about a couple that go and Stifler, Sean William Scott, his character is planning to propose to his girlfriend, and they hear a mysterious noise. He goes to check it out, and that might not have been the best decision. And what entails is a mysterious figure named Dolly that comes and takes over, and everything just devolves straight into hell from there. So, um, from here on out, there will be a light spoiler effect
Light
and alert.
spoiler effect. Light, not heavy.
Yeah,
Light.
because there's a lot of this movie that I want to keep hidden. I feel like it
You just
enhances
gotta.
your
You
view.
gotta go.
Yeah,
Put your seat. Put your seat in a movie theater seat. And watch it.
yeah. Um, definitely, as Kylie and I would say, buckle up. Um, because this is definitely wild, but
Listen, I knew it was going to be fucked. Okay, you hear me? Like it's a doll, and there's dolls. You remember that one time when I was doing Uber Eats and I encountered this abandoned looking house with dolls like this in the window?
I'm still triggered. That's the whole reason we're on Life 360 together.
It is. It is. I may
Serious.
like pull up that video just for shits and giggles, just to see, just to show y'all. But bro, what would you what? I mean, I know what I did when I found an abandoned house with dolls. I wanted to find the owner.
I
That's what
I
I
would have
did.
I would have
Good old
ran.
Southern Ohio Appalachia. I just went door knocking.
I
This situation, though, no, I'm about.
well, because what is so creepy about this? So, there is a lot of just imagery that's used in this film, whether it's the dolls that are on the trees, the house. The house is in the middle of the nowhere, and it looks like a doll house, just an abandoned, like grown up doll house. But I will advise you when going to see this, if you have any aversions or are triggered by any like gross food things, bodily function things, um, just extreme gore. I wouldn't say like super extreme because going into this, I thought like this was going to be
Yeah,
an absolute bloodbath. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but there is a lot of very like sensory heavy, like fucked up things in this movie, like sounds and different things like that. And it's just a lot. So if you are
especially
adverse,
if you are a new
yeah,
mother, you might want to swerve this one for a bit.
or at least be aware that there is a scene with nipples, um that it's a whole other level, which I was here for it. Like, I wasn't
Same
expecting,
here.
but I just want people to be aware going into this. I do think overall, even though it has a lot of those themes, it does a really good job of not being so much. It pushing the
Yeah, like
out.
it's just not super extreme, like I'm gonna say
No.
like Terrifier extreme. Um it fits the plot, it fits the movie. It's not super just exploitive, unnecessary type stuff. I love this movie. I
It
did.
What I really liked about this, and when we had a conversation earlier about this movie after I got done watching it, I think you brought this up the best way. This has so many references, and we know from looking into the behind the scenes of this movie that that was done with purpose. Like, this is kind of a nod to like French extremity movies, and also like 1970s gore horror movies. And you could definitely see that there are elements of like Texas Chainsaw almost with
Oh
this,
yeah, this was Leatherface's kissing cousin. You hear me?
or girlfriend.
Or girlfriend. Actually, this is not the person that plays this is Max the Impaler. They are non-binary and they were a part of like the WWE. Correct me if
Mhm.
I'm not super into wrestling, but it even states like in the like synopsis on IMDb as that they call Dolly they, not
They
necessarily classifying, he, she, which I thought that was kind of, I like that. I did. I like
Ye
that.
Yeah, I feel like we need more characters that are non-binary, but aren't the whole like, I think sometimes when non-binary characters are put in, it is done with not the greatest love
Yeah.
of like actually putting like something in. Like, I think that it could become divisive sometimes. Like, I think there needs to be, it's kind of like what we talk about with um kind of how we had the conversation with Come Play. Not every kid with autism in a movie needs to have superpowers. And I think not every single time does that need to be like, oh, they're non-binary. Like, just it needs to be that this person is a person, and clearly they have, like, you don't get a lot of the backstory in this movie, but clearly this person has been through so much shit to the point that they have devolved this personality that they attribute to something so primal as motherhood, or as dolls, like collecting dolls. So I think a lot of that was done really well. I think the sense of dread, just like some of the elements to it, it almost gave me kind of a House of Wax vibe too with
Same
this.
here. Now
Yeah.
that you say that, absolutely. It does remind me of like House of Wax, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, but
It's
with the fucked up
very,
doll.
yeah, I just feel like they do such a good job with, even though this character is something that maybe feels familiar, like with the vibes of like a Leatherface or something, like, it's really just something so different, and it's very rooted in reality. Like, this is just something that just kind of happens. And I think what I mean by that is, this is a couple that just happens to stumble upon this situation. It is clearly somebody's discarded relatives that are just left out in the woods, kind of the way, and like we saw with Leatherface and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. And this is how they've enveloped that personality, kind of the same way with House of Wax, where you have, the one brother that was the more, conventionally attractive, and the other one who was disfigured and had these talents and
Well,
ends up.
and a lot of people don't realize, especially in Appalachian areas, that there are families like this. Like, and I don't like what I'm about to say. I'm not prefacing or trying to like talk about clout because like it really is a sad situation. But like the Whitakers in Odd West Virginia, they are an inbred family and they have been pretty much just exploited for years by various different like content creators. Like there's a lot of scandal with all of that right now with content creators. One is currently being charged with just like fraud, like he was, making money off of them and doing content and not paying them. Um but they don't look like a traditional regular family. But
No.
this is and it's a very sad situation because there were a lot of them have various different like intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, and they were taken by Adult Protective Services. And the one that took care of them all their lives, while she wasn't necessarily the best, and they did not have the greatest quality of life, but this is how they lived, and like this is all that they knew, like, and people
Yeah.
just kind of just make a spectacle out of people like this, and while they don't look like what traditional like what people should how they should be living, but like that's all that they know. I don't think
Yeah.
they haven't ever killed anybody though, like.
No, no. This is, I mean, this is meant to be a horror movie, but I think the most horrifying thing is this Dolly is a product of her environment, and something
Exactly.
has so deeply been enrooted that she finds comfort in doing these things, which it seems, odd to us, but this is her way of living. Now, ultimately, she is a killer. They are a killer, sorry. Um, but they are a killer, and they do make choices that just do it's meant to kind of get under your skin. It's meant to grapple. I think it also does a really good job of talking about somebody coming to terms with their situation. And what I mean by that is Sean William Scott is proposing to his girlfriend, who is played by Fabian Therice, and she is grappling with the fact that she loves his daughter, but am I cut out to be a stepmom? She knows he's kind of possibly going to propose, and she's just, am I okay to love somebody like that? Am I going to get left? We don't really find out a lot about her backstory, but we know that like maybe her family situation was not the greatest.
Yeah, like, she the person she's talked to, I think is, like, her sister, like, "You're
Yeah.
not a monster like our mom," but
Yeah.
I truly identified with that conversation. I love my mom, I miss her to death, but she was not the greatest, and was a big reason I remember telling people a lot why I didn't wanna have kids, because
Yeah.
my mom wasn't good. How am I gonna be a good mom? Even though I am a great mom, I have 3 boys now, and yeah, this was a banger,
It
man.
it was, and it was great to see Ethan Suplee in this too. He
Yes,
comes in later
yes!
in this, and you do kind of see behind why they might be doing what they're doing. And so it was just great. There's a lot of unexpected twists and turns in this. I would definitely say please go give this a watch. This comes out in theaters March 6th. It is produced by both Shudder and IFC. We were able to get an early copy of this because of Keir at Strike Media, which we absolutely love Keir. He is a
Yes.
Horrorcraft favorite here. But this, I think, eventually will go on Shudder. So if you do miss this in its limited theatrical release, I would say that this is going to probably be on Shudder later this year. But this is something I think would be really cool to see in the movie theater. So I would highly encourage you to see it. If you could give this a rating, what would you give it?
What do you? What's your rating?
I would say 7.5. I would say 7.5. I think the only thing about this is I want more. That's
Yeah,
maybe I'm being
that's where I'm at with it. I'd probably have to say the same thing. I
yeah.
want more. I hope that there is another one, or maybe we even get like a prequel. I think there is going to be another one. I think there will be.
I would really love to see another one of Dolly. I think this is something that I could definitely see kind of a Texas Chainsaw-esque like
Yeah.
franchise for this, where we start learning more pieces and parts behind this. And we definitely get more motive behind why Dolly but what I love about this is that we are just getting, I will say the absolute highlight of this is number one, the atmosphere. The director, Rob, he also did Night Swim. And although I ultimately didn't like Night Swim, what I did like is I loved the atmosphere of Night Swim. So Rod Blackhurst is who uh, directed this movie, and what I liked is in Night Swim was the cinematography of it and the atmosphere. I think that pairs so well with this.
Yep.
And I love the atmosphere they built with this and how simple yet rooted it was, because it's not a ton of just, there weren't a lot of like different scene change. What I mean by that is it was very situational in the house, the forest, where her like doll grave site thing is, and outside of the forest. That's pretty much, and I felt like that grounded it in such a way. What I also absolutely loved and thought was absolutely top tier is the character building. I think from whether it was Fabienne's character, it was Sean William Scott's character, or it was Dolly herself, or even Ethan Suplee's character, they were all done on such a top tier level. But then the creation of Dolly and the like just character building and love that went into really making this like such a focal point, I think is what stands out so much. So I do hope that there are more. I would love to absolutely see it. But please go out and see it in theaters if you can. If you cannot, and it comes out on Shudder later this year, come back to this video, let us know what you thought of it. But please go and watch this. I will tell you, so far, I am incredibly impressed with a lot of the Shudder and IFC films that have been coming out this year. And it just makes me very happy for the future of horror. So, and Rod, if you did this with Dolly, I can't wait to see what else you do with so many others, because you have a very impressive just horror mind, and that's what we need more of. So but yeah, 7.5 for Horrorcraft, and this is definitely Horrorcraft approved. So
Yes.
please go and watch it. And thank you again, Keir and Strike Media, for letting us see an advanced screener copy. And let us know in the comments what you think of it if you have seen it. So until next time, it's me, Cass, and
Kylie.
we are the Horrorcraft Podcast, and this was Horrorcraft Reviews. Bye, and stay spooky.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.